Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Hello, everybody. My name is Ernest Krim. I'm an educator at Joliet Central. I'm going into my 7th year as an educator. I've done a lot of programs at Joliet Central, ranging from community events to brother-to-brother, male mentoring group, to more recently, the Black Student Union organization that we have. Our organization centers on allowing our students to be exposed to different experiences, celebrating their culture, and also allowing them and letting them know what they can possibly encounter in America as Black individuals. With that said, most of that, or none of it even matters if they come across somebody who's having a bad day and is racially profiling them. You can listen to every motivational speech in the world. You can do whatever you want, go to church every day, but if somebody's having a bad day and they don't like you and they stereotype you, then it's it. I speak today on the 4-year anniversary of Eric Garner. Eric Garner was a Black man in New York who was minding his business, and he was stopped by an officer for allegedly selling loose cigarettes, which would be a misdemeanor. He was put in a chokehold and he was choked to death on camera. The officer still has a job, but the person who recorded the incident is in jail right now. That's the context of this whole situation. I was led to believe, and I thought for a while, that Joliet was a tad bit different, but over the past month or so, I was exposed to different things that changed my opinion. The first being that there's a pending court case from an officer named Lionel Allen. And all of this, of course, is alleged because it's a court case, so I can't speak factually, right? But Lionel Allen is alleging that he was moved because of his race to a different position. And he's saying that somebody was given that position because they were white. And he stated that the person is not like Black people and that they laughed when a 10-year-old and 11-year-old Black child was maced, and he mocked it and he joked about it. The first question I really have is, why is there ever a reason to mace a 10-year-old child or 11-year-old child if you're a grown man or woman? Why is that an issue? The second thing an issue I have with that is, he states allegedly that he was going to be terminated if he had not dropped the lawsuit. Looking at a recent article, there were 18 different infractions by various officers, some outrageous, some seemed like they were trivial, but a lot of these officers, when they engaged in practices that were very unbecoming of the city, they were given a slap on the wrist, a verbal reprimand, or maybe 1 or 2 days suspension. But him reporting racist bullying, he could have lost his job. I don't understand why that happened, allegedly. Also, more recently, as the 2 previous speakers spoke about, there was an incident that happened over the weekend that I've been reading about. Now, again, I don't know all the facts. The first thing, I've never even seen the video, so I don't know what happened. I just know there are 2 different sides. It was said that the person in the car who was driving ran a stop sign. The officer pulled them over. The issue I have then at that point is, when he pulled the person over, he never stated to the person why he was being stopped. And the person in the car continued to ask, why am I being stopped? What's the problem? The officer never stated why. Let's assume that he did run a stop sign. That's a ticket. He should have gotten it. I don't understand why it was escalated to the point of him being yanked out the car after the window was smashed. I understand he didn't give his ID. He should have done that. But why couldn't the officer, practicing whatever de-escalation process they were taught, go back and write a ticket based on the license plate? Now, again, I'm not an officer. I know it's a rough and I know it's a tough job, but over running a stop sign, why do you want to become combative? Why is that the first thing you want to do with us? Why do you want to beat us to the ground to prove a point? I don't understand that. And living in this city and living in America, whenever a cop is behind me, I do not feel safe, no matter how many degrees I have, no matter where I live in this country. And I think that's the issue, and I think every Black person in this country, in this city, can relate to that, whether they want to admit it or not.
Get the 4-minute mark. Can you wrap it up, please?
I definitely can.
Thank you.
I would just ask, and I wonder if we can see dash cam footage. I wonder what the de-escalation process is for the officers. How are they trained? Do they go into these communities and get to know the people? Are there programs in place to reach out to different groups of people, Black and Hispanic, to be on this police force? What are the demographics overall, and what is Joliet going to do moving forward? Because there's an election coming up, and I think we as citizens deserve to have some answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak this evening?
Before we do, Chief, I know there are a number of questions answered. Is there any comment you want to make tonight? I believe there's an investigation pending right now.
Yes, Mayor, and I can appreciate the concern that the family members have here over this traffic stop that occurred this weekend. We have initiated an investigation into. We have it ongoing through our Internal Affairs Division. There are also criminal charges pending. Otherwise, I would elaborate more on it. But I will say that there is dash cam video, there is body audio from the body recording, and so I would ask the public not to take the snippet of telephone video that was broadcast throughout the media and jump to conclusions based on that limited information. And once we've completed the investigation and the criminal process is completed, I will be more than happy to share that information with you.
Thank you.